We are calling a special meeting prior to our regular board meeting, and it will be discussed in much more detail by council, I would have to think. But with that, may we have a reading of the notice, please?
The Board of Directors of the School District of the City of Erie, Pennsylvania, and the Board of Directors of the City of Erie Regional Career and Technical School will hold a public hearing on Wednesday, June 29, 2016, in the auditorium at East High School, 1001 Atkins Street, at 6:00 p.m. for discussion of and to possibly render a decision on the most recently amended charter school application from the Erie Rise Up Leadership Academy Charter School by request of the President, Robert S. Casilla.
Thank you. A roll call.
Mrs. McNair, Mr. Petrunger,
Here.
Ms. Shenley. Here. Mr. Spagel,
Here.
Mrs. Alexandrovich. Here. Mr. Brzezinski. Mr. Brzezinski.
Mr. Brzezinski, are you on the phone?
Yes, I am.
Thank you.
Mr. Fabrizi.
Here.
Mr. Harkins.
Here.
Mr. Casilla.
Here. May we all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The purpose of the meeting is to hear from citizens as well as the board either approve or deny an amendment to the charter which is going to request a change of address, as I understand it. Tim, if you, Attorney Senate, if you'd like to expound somewhat on it, you certainly may.
Mr. President, I think that's absolutely correct. The Erie Rise Leadership Academy Charter School is requesting to amend their application to change the location from 2501 Plum Street to the location of 1006 West 10th Street, Erie, Pennsylvania, and that's the issue before the board. I think the next step then would be to ask the Erie Rise Leadership Academy representatives to make their presentation in regard to that issue.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so at this point, we're looking for a representative from Erie Rise to make the presentation. Would you come to the podium, please state your name and your posture, your position with Erie Rise.
Good afternoon, everybody. For the record, my name is Terry Lang, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer, Erie Rise Leadership Academy. And we're here today, as stated by the Counselor, to request your approval to move from the Plum Street address to the Emerson Building, which is 1006 West 10th Street, Erie, Pennsylvania.
Thank you.
I want to thank you guys for getting us to where we are here. Like I said, the purpose is to get your approval tonight to move from where we are to the new facility, the Emerson Building. And I know that many of you know that the Emerson Building is property of GCAC. And once you grant approval, or if you grant approval tonight, then it will allow us to finalize our lease agreement, Erie Rise and GCAC.
Okay.
There were a number of reasons that went into why we needed to move. And most of the reasons are centered around just a couple of elements: the academics, the ability to improve the learning environment at our school, technology, as well as lower our costs as it relates to facility leasing. Just to talk a little bit about academic benefits for moving. This list here is a short list of the academic benefits, but what went into this list we had our non-instructional staff and our instructional staff take as a professional development assignment, and that was to actually go to the Emerson building and visit the site, every classroom, basement to ceiling, and check the building out and compare it to where we are. And they had to report back to the principal and myself, and they came up with a long list of benefits, but I kind of got it down to this short list here. And it's centered around improving our learning environment for both the teachers as well as our students. We are in the process of implementing a brand new curriculum, and we feel that the space that is available at the Emerson building will allow us to make for a smoother implementation of that reading and that math curriculum. It will also give us an opportunity to integrate technology into our classroom instructions with the new McGraw-Hill model that we're using. There's a digital component, and with the Emerson building already being internet ready with some work needing to be done, it will allow us to integrate the technology into our classroom instructions. And it will also allow us to take advantage of the knowledge and the application of our teachers as it relates to differentiated instructions. And so with their knowledge, with their application of differentiated instructions, it will allow us to reconfigure a lot of our classrooms so that we can better address some of the needs of our students. And just as an example of a reconfiguration of a classroom, here is a classroom that we plan to set up as an elementary model, if you will. And the second classroom is a traditional classroom, but it has a lot more technology, and it's designed to take on the flavor of a college classroom, but on a middle school level. So with the space that we will gain from moving into the Emerson building, it allows us a lot more space per classroom to set the classrooms up and do a lot of things differently, taking advantage of our teachers' ability to apply differentiated instructions. The other benefit is the technology benefit. When we went through the Emerson building, we noticed that there were 4 rooms that had already been set up as computer labs. We're not going to use all 4 of those computer labs. We're going to use 2 computer labs. And that's an advantage because where we are right now, we have no space, so we don't have any kind of computer lab where we can platoon kids in and out of that computer lab for individual remediation, if you will. So we're going to have the ability to implement 2 computer labs at the Emerson building. The building, although it is wired already for the internet, for internet, we're going to add to it, and we're going to add some wireless internet accessibility, which will allow us the opportunity to integrate this technology into our classroom instructions. It will also allow us to do more for our kids in terms of coding and programming, and yes, we're going to actually start teaching kids how to develop websites. But being in that Emerson building as compared to the Plum Street address, Emerson building offers us a lot more opportunities when it comes to our kids. And when it comes to safety and security, we will have an opportunity to install a much more robust and sophisticated closed-circuit television system, and it will give us a better opportunity to control the accessibility to that facility for everybody. We have an issue right now where it's kind of easy to access our building. When we implement the technology associated with safety and security, it will actually be a little more difficult for you to just access our building. So that's a technology benefit. And the fiscal benefit, I guess when you look at this picture, the picture itself speaks 1,000 words. We recognize immediate benefit from moving from the Plum Street address to the Emerson building. And as the graphics will show you here, we presently pay $12,500 on a monthly basis to be at the Plum Street address. Well, GCAT has made it, or that monthly will be $7,800 with us, and then immediately on a monthly basis, we will begin to recognize the cost savings of about $4,600. And so when you do the analysis on a yearly basis, that cost savings will be $5,500. And when you do the analysis over a 5-year period, it's a little greater than $250,000. And when you do that analytics out to 10 years, you see the cost savings is over $500,000. So I can't, I'll let the picture do all of the talking for us on there. And in these rough economic times, this is something that I think everybody is seeking to do, is save some of the dollars. And so to summarize some of the benefits, as I said, it gives us an opportunity to improve our academic offerings, improve the learning environment, technology for our kids. It gives us an opportunity to grow. Presently, we are at 3,200 square feet at the Plum Street address. Emerson Building offers us 45,000 square feet, so it gives us an opportunity to grow and, of course, reduce our facility costs, if you will. And we started an after-school component at the Plum Street address, and the Emerson Building would afford us a better opportunity to improve our after-school community programming. Now, prior to getting here, there was a lot of work being done behind the scene, and I just want to give you a brief status report of things that have been done to date, and we are at a standstill now because we seek your approval to move things forward. Internally, we developed at Erie Rise, amongst our instructional staff and a lot of the support staff, internal project teams that were assigned to address all of the functional areas that are required to move into a new facility. We've gone as far as to have a building inspection. We've had the floor designs completed. The district, Erie District, put some skin in the game. We had Attorney Senate and Mr. Brockman to come out and do a site visit, joining the leadership team at GCAC and Erie Rise. And Erie Rise and GCAC continues to have ongoing planning sessions, but again, we're at a standstill. We can't go any further. We have planned out, and we just, we know we got to have your approval to move this thing forward. So that's just a project status. As it relates to our internal teams, real quick, this team is made up of everybody, the instructional staff, everybody that is willing to put some skin in the game at the school level. So we looked at things like our building inspection, of which we completed, the design, the floor designs, the drawings, technology, security, curriculum, furniture, flooring, class readiness, the inspections required from the city, the physical move itself, building signage, cleaning and maintenance, and transportation. And again, you see that we've completed a lot of the R&D on this, but again, we can't move forward with major decisions and allocating major funds to move this forward until we seek the approval, until you guys grant us the approval. So those are the internal teams. External teams are somewhat internal teams as well. The Erie School District is an internal and an external team. You guys are our approver of our charter. GCAC, the facility owner, is a external team that we have been working with, as I mentioned. The City of Erie to procure all of the inspections and the permits that will be necessary for occupancy. And for transportation, we continue or will continue to work with First Student, and we've submitted routing information to show that we're on top of that. And for our school nutritional program, we will continue our relationship with the nutrition group. And as we get through this, there will be, more external teams, and there will be probably some more internal teams put together as well. Now, just real quick, prior to this meeting, we received a communication from Mr. Senate, Attorney Senate, that wanted us to address specific items in the building inspection. We actually had the building inspected. There were 35 items that were identified as must be repaired before you can get an occupancy permit, and there were 13 items Attorney Senate wanted us to address tonight. And so what I plan to do is to provide you guys by close of business tomorrow a complete status report of every one of the items that were identified in the inspection, the timeline, the corrective action, and who's going to be responsible for fixing all of those items identified in the inspection. So I spoke with Mr. Brockman, I emailed with Mr. Brockman earlier today, and by close of business tomorrow, I will have that status report that will address all of those items that came out of the inspection. And most of the things that you will see, major decisions, the expenditure of large sums of money to fix, for example, there was a lead issue, there's an asbestos issue, the approval that we can actually move forward is what everybody's waiting on to expend those resources to repair those things. And I will share something with you also that we have done, providing I don't get in any kind of trouble if you guys don't tell my bosses here. The kids actually put some skin in the game. On Earth Day, they actually went over to the premises and they cleaned the grounds. They had a classroom instruction and they did the classroom activity, but one of the things that they wanted to do was they wanted to put some skin in the game and they wanted to go over to the Emerson building. So we created an environment, we did everything above board, and what you'll see on these pictures here, the kids actually went and they cleaned the grounds at the Emerson building, and they continue to do that. So if you were to ride by there now, you'll notice that the grounds are always clean, but it's the work of the kids. Okay, so we did that on Earth Day. Everything was above board, so I'm just sharing that with you guys. Hopefully you don't tell anybody. And so to summarize the rationale for the relocation, it's, the improvement in the student academic performance, increased learning environment, safety and security for our students and our staff, the ability to now really integrate technology into our classroom instructions, and a significant reduction in the monthly facility leasing costs, and it will better position Erie Rise to respond to the corrective action items that were agreed upon by your organization, our organization, Pre-My Life in January 2015. So we're in a better position now to satisfy all of those items. And we stand here, still in planning mode, ready, set, go, but we can't move forward because everything is contingent upon your approval. And so I want to thank you for getting us here. I want to thank everybody that has actually participated in getting us where we are today, all of the project teams, external, internal teams, and this will end our presentation in terms of requesting your approval to allow us to move forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a question and answer period, so if you'd stay at the podium, please, from the administration and the board. You want to start with the board, Jay, or should we? Okay, Tom Spagle.
Mr. President, I'm not sure if this would be asked of you or if, Mr. Polito. I'm sure he's here at some point or somewhere. If the costs decrease and you're showing X number of dollars per year anticipated cost reduction, will that represent any savings to us in a reimbursement rate to you? Because it will cost you less. Do we have to pay you less?
I would say no, sir.
I don't know how that works. I don't.
It's a state-determined tuition rate.
Oh, I understand.
Okay.
Thank you.
The cost savings will be geared towards increasing our programming.
Okay. Dr. Badams, I'm sorry, Mary Frances.
I don't have a question, I just have a comment. I'm impressed. Okay, I've sat through a lot of charter school meetings, and this was clear, it's comprehensive, it benefits the students as well as the faculty, and I thought you did an excellent job. I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Comments on the board? Sorry, Mr. Senate?
I just have a couple questions just to clarify some of the information which you provided. As indicated in your presentation, we did submit a letter to you dated June 24th, 2016 in regard to the certain items that we wanted you to address. And you indicated that you will have a memorandum which you'll be able to submit to us tomorrow. I need some information to be put on the record in regard to that memorandum so it's clear to the board as to what your intent is. I would assume then that the items as identified in the commercial inspection report, your intention is to remedy all those items prior to the opening of school. Is that correct or not?
That is correct, particularly the asbestos issue and the lead issue. And in the status report that I'm going to give you, and we could, at your directives, give you weekly status reports, but this initial status report is going to be a little more comprehensive than the communication that you sent. Your communication requested an answer for 13 of the 35 items. I'm going to give you a status report of all 35 items and the fix for all of them, and that will be inclusive of the 13 that you mentioned.
And as part of that report, then you would also have a timeline as to the completion of each of those items?
That is correct.
And would that timeline indicate that all those items will be completed before school opens because they are required to be completed before school opens?
That is correct.
And is there a specific deadline date that you have identified in your memorandum?
I will, but we're trying to get everything done because our lease expires at the Plum Street address at the end of August.
Okay.
So we're going to be steadfast and really, really going fast, trying to get everything done. We've done a lot of the work, and the status report will show you that. GCAC has been real diligent about, satisfying the low-hanging fruit, if you will, but the big-ticket items, they needed to get a warm and fuzzy that the Erie School District was going to allow us to do this.
All right. So, if the board would consider approving this amendment, it would be contingent, obviously, on your ability to complete the 35 items as set forth in the inspection report, and then receive a subsequent report that you have completed those items, which would only be fair because you couldn't have occupancy without completing those items.
Yes, all 35 items are not required to be completed to obtain an occupancy permit. Lead, asbestos, and many of those items, any item that is required for the occupancy permit and any other city inspections, things of that nature, I can assure you they will be done because that's the only way you can procure those permits.
Right.
If it is something that we could move kids in and they remain out of harm's way, I'll be, communicating that with you, Attorney Fitzpatrick and Mr. Brockman, seeking your feedback to see if we can move in. Would it be an issue for us to move in? But all 35 items are not showstoppers.
Okay. But some of the major ones, the asbestos, the lead-based paint, the electrical service, some of those other major items would have to be completed, typically.
That is correct. And just for the record, GCAC is doing a lot of the heavy lifting for all of those type of items, and they are committed to doing that as they shared with you during the walkthrough. Erie Rise is going to take on the responsibility of the flooring in the building, just as an opportunity to kind of move things along, if you will.
Just then, two more questions. In our letter of June 24th, 2016, we did advise you that we needed some reaffirmation as to a concern that was raised concerning the pension plan and your intentions with the pension plan, so we have a complete understanding. Your original application said that you were going to follow with the PSERS plan. It's our understanding that you now are going to have a separate retirement plan, and in order for the application to be clear as to what you're going to do, could you explain that to us, please?
Well, we have two retirement systems. You have the PSER system and you have a 403B. I was the first person that was enrolled in the 403B, and everybody hired post my employment June 1st, 2015, 403B. Everybody pre-June 1, 2015 is in the PSER retirement system.
Will so it'll be any employee after you that is hired?
That is correct. Any employee that was hired after June 1st, my hire date, is in the 403B plan.
All right. And you will continue the dual system as long as it exists?
That is correct.
All right. And then the other concern that was raised with your ongoing application, there was an issue in regard to some special education program concerns. Could you just tell us how you're going to address those type of concerns without going into detail in regard to the specific situations?
Okay, yeah, we did have some challenges with special ed, and so what we're doing, we're actually looking at realigning our relationship with the IU5, and we're going to do some things in-house. We're talking about a program to strengthen satisfying the demands of an IEP. So we haven't gotten there yet, but what we're thinking about doing is a project that is called, and it's internal, and we're brainstorming it right now, but it's do the IEP twice, whereas we will use whatever's in the IEP, the present system that we are actually using during the day, and then we're going to, in the after-school component, we're going to take certified special ed teachers that are already on staff and allow them to tutor the special ed kids, and that will be doing the IEP a second time. And so we're in the planning stages of doing that. We're going to be reconfiguring our relationship with the IU5. There were some accountability issues that we need to address, but we do recognize the challenges that we have had in the past. We have a system in place to fix those, and we don't foresee that we will have major issues moving forward.
And you'll be willing to provide us additional updates as to your progress in regard to your plan and your contract with IU5?
That is correct.
I have no further questions unless other board members do.
Thank you, Counselor. Anyone else at this point? Okay, move to the next section, public comment. We are asking that those that are going to be commenting limit their time to 2 minutes, and whether it be pro or con in their request. So you may sit at this point, and then if there is something specifically that you need to address, you can certainly come up and address that. So with that, is there anyone from the group here that has any questions, concerns, or comments regarding the relocation of Erie Rise? Anyone? Please come to the podium. State your name, please. Good evening.
Good evening, School Board, Superintendent.
There is a tablet on the podium. If you could just sign in, name and address.
Is there? Yeah, just sign your name and address, please.
Thank you.
Is my time ticking?
I'm sorry.
Not yet.
Night.
That's fine.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah Bridget. I'm a parent of 2 students that attend Erie Rise Leadership Academy School. I'm very pleased with the school, and I'm impressed by the presentation that was delivered today by Dr. Lang. I am an 18-year employee of GCAC. And I was housed in that building for 9 years. And one of the jobs that I've held was to do health and safety checks in the building. And I would have to go around and make sure every outlet was covered, every sink faucet was running, things of that nature, just to keep the building safe for the Head Start children. We served Head Start children there until the building closed, and that's when we moved to another location. But in my tenure there, I used to decorate my little office or my space and go down and help the teachers decorate the classrooms, but never once did I ever think that any of those rooms could look like the pictures that were put up on the board today. I'm impressed, as you are. But as a parent, I do feel that the building is safe. I was actually there when they put the security system in the building, and it is very hard for anyone to get in. I used to try to run to the door so I wouldn't be late for work, and it would lock on me, so I had to walk around to the front, and then I get busted because I had to sign in. So I am aware of the security system at the building. I'm aware of everything. I had to, like I said, do health and safety checks, so I am aware of the building, and I do live in the neighborhood of that school, so I do know that we have one of the best neighborhoods in the city of Erie.
Thank you.
And I think I'm done. But That bell means I'm done,
Yeah,
right?
bell means it's 2 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Are there any other comments, questions, suggestions? Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Barbara Martin, and I teach sixth grade math and science. And I'm just here to speak on behalf of my colleagues and myself that we are very energized by this initiative, and we are very invested in it, and I'm excited at the prospect of redesigning our space. Prior to relocating to Erie, I served on a modernization committee, and space it definitely stimulates your creativity as a teacher and facilitates best practices. As many teachers will tell you, including my friends here from Roosevelt School, that when it comes to a certain part of your instruction where students begin to engage and take over their learning, that space becomes very important to them to command their space and to move into groups and partnerships and presentations and small groups. So we appreciate you considering this for our school. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else at this point that would like to address the board? Okay, not, oh, we do have one. Okay, please.
Hello, Pam Wiley, Erie taxpayer, certified teacher in the district. I just want to say that I also was impressed by the presentation, and what struck me was the pictures that they showed of what a typical, hopefully what a potential classroom would look like. And it's my hope that someday Erie's public schools will have those kind of classrooms. So,
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Last call? Okay, moving forward. Yes, I'm sorry, Angela.
I entered the wrong part of the discussion, but I guess I'll say what I have to say now. Before you move on, is that okay? Bob?
I'm sorry.
Said, is that okay?
Oh,
Am I
that's
in the
fine.
wrong- Okay. I will
Yeah.
say this. I've been in Erie Rise a lot of times, plenty of times. Like, I was there on a weekly basis at one point, just working. And I would say that this would be a way better learning environment for the kids that attend the school, just based off of what I've seen in their current location, based on if they can really pull this off to make it look like the pictures, it would be a much better space for the students that attend the school. Because right now, I mean, it's an old Catholic school and, you know, it's in condition, but classrooms like this would be a much better learning environment for the students that choose to attend Erie Rise. So, you know, I can be excited for the kids that will actually get to have a better learning environment, and it probably boosts the morale of the whole school to have something better than where they're at now.
Thank you. Okay. We
Mr.
kind of
Castillo.
skipped around here a little bit. Yes, go ahead.
Just for the record, so the record is absolutely clear, what I would like to include as part of evidence to include in the record would be the presentation that was submitted by Mr. Lang, his PowerPoint presentation, if we could have that as part of the record. I would include the letter that was sent from my office to Mr. Lang and Attorney Fitzpatrick dated June 24th, 2016. We would include the commercial inspection report that we received from Erie Rise leadership and dated in April of 2016. And also then Mr. Lang's report that he will provide us tomorrow was setting forth their improvement plan and timeline as part of the record. And with those documents, I think the record would be complete for your ultimate consideration, whether to approve or reject the amendment. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Senate. Okay, are there any other comments on the board, from the board regarding information that we received from the public comment? Nothing. That's good. All righty. At this point, we can adjourn this meeting of the public hearing. So I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Okay. Who was it originally? Oh, okay. All right. We have that. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, so be it.